My name is Neil Stott. I'm the Director of Community Health at Benalla Health. I'm also the Chair of the Benalla Family Violence Prevention Network. This is our fourth March Against Violence in Benalla, and by any measure the most successful. And I want to thank you all for coming and showing your support to what is a complex, difficult but not insurmountable problem of family violence in Benalla. I want to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are meeting. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and the elders from other communities who may be here today. Family violence or violence against women is a serious issue that affects all aspects of our community. We've seen from our recent police statistics that Benalla doesn't enjoy, but has, out of 76 LGAs, the fourth highest rate of family violence notices reported to police. So events like this is a moment where we can come together as a community with a shared vision and a shared purpose to reduce and make family violence something that is abnormal. Not the norm, but abnormal. Something that we can do something about. That each and every one of us as individuals can make a difference and do something about. Anj Barker is our guest speaker today, and she grew up in Benalla. She attended Benalla College, and she was a survivor of domestic violence incident in 2002. She's a Victorian Young Australian of the Year in 2011 and the US Embassy's candidate for the Women of Courage Award in Washington in 2011. She's recently received the Rotary Southern District Shine On Award and NAPCAN's Play Your Part Award, and she's represented Australia at the International Women's Health Coalition in New York in 2007. Anj has been a voice for young people in nursing homes and the National Disability Insurance Scheme. And we're privileged to have her come and share her story, which is a profound, distressing, but also one that shows a person who has overcome. So let's welcome Anj as she comes to us today.
Thank you all very much for coming today. I think the walk was very successful, and I thoroughly enjoyed all the great chants. Stop silence, stop violence, because it's so true, and it's exactly what we all need to do. I have my presentation will be read by my laptop. Thank you again.
Welcome everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the community for their kind thoughts, help and support over the years since my injury. You have helped me greatly on my road to recovery. It is an honor and a privilege to be asked back to Benalla to take part in your White Ribbon Day March, to tell what I call my story. It is very encouraging to know my small part in the fight against violence towards women is being heard, taken as seriously as it should be, and is hopefully having some effect. It actually gives me a little hope for women's health in today's society. I am your sister, I am your mother, I could be your wife or your best friend, and I could even be you. My name is Anj Barker, and I was a victim of a horrific assault back in March 2002. It was expected that I would remain in a vegetative state for the rest of my life, which the doctors expected to be a short one due to complications from my brain injury. I wasn't offered rehab as my parents expected I would be, because victims of crime don't have compensation, so the only place I was offered to live out my days was an old age nursing home in Benalla, where there were no specialized brain injury therapists. I was 16 at the time. My parents Helen and Ian and my brother Glenn were devastated with this news. All hope was taken away. Luckily for me, they wouldn't accept this. They got me a short burst of rehab for 4 months, where they started the long process of straightening my arms and legs, which had twisted with spasticity due to the brain injury I suffered. I went to a nursing home in Melbourne for 2 years, so I could continue with my neuro-trained therapists. It took me 5 months to poke my tongue out past my teeth, 9 months to move my thumb for the first time, and 5 years to get my voice back. Despite the horrific injuries he inflicted on me, and all the medical team's belief that I wouldn't be able to improve any further, with a bit of strength and determination I have proved them wrong. I always try to keep moving forward, and with the help of my family, friends, and therapy team, I've been able to keep soldiering on, though it hasn't been by any means easy. My assaulter was my ex, who I had been going out with for 2 years. He was 4 years older, and I now realize dating an older man was a foolish thing to be doing, because they are on very different wavelengths mentally, physically, and sexually. But I thought I was in love, and because he had a car and license, I could get into cool places. We had broken up, and got back together many times over the 2 years, and on the night this happened we hadn't actually been going out for 3 months, as he had to prove to me that his violent ways had improved. He had abused me during our relationship, both physically and verbally, and he had often humiliated me in front of friends and passerbys. Though he wanted me back that night, but I'd just had enough of the abuse. This time was it. And as he had just completed an anger management course a few weeks before this, I finally had the courage to finish our relationship. But if I had had any idea how aggressive he'd turn, I would have made sure I'd done it in public in front of physically able, strong, mature company. This was the start of a journey I didn't choose to take, but I am making the most of it. While on this journey, my parents were asked in 2003 if they would like to participate in developing a video as part of the Violence Against Women Australia Says No campaign for the then Liberal government, directed at girls to deter them from becoming involved in violent relationships. So they asked me how I felt, if I would mind sharing my story, whether it might be too emotional, but I thought it was a great idea, because it might stop other girls being as blind as I was, and ending up in my situation. We need to build young people's self-esteem to stop them from thinking violent behavior is acceptable, and ending up in a violent relationship. In a relationship during the first stages of being in love, people can easily make light of any differences between them. They see each other through rose-colored glasses, and tend to gloss over problems. This is what I did. I thought, as he was a nice guy most of the time, that the few problems we were having at the start were fixable. I could change him, and helped him by just continuing to be there for him and loving him. But the verbal and emotional abuse continued, and eventually the physical abuse began. This was over a period of 15 months. He wanted me around him all the time. He would always be wherever I was, even if I was going out with the girls. He would tell me I was lucky to have him, and I wouldn't and couldn't get anyone else, that I wasn't pretty, and as my previous boyfriend had cheated on me. I think this helped me believe what he was saying was the truth. He was controlling my life, and I couldn't see that control wasn't love. I think he believed that love and control was the same thing. I have often been asked, why I kept going back to him. As I said before, I thought I was in love, and I believed I could change him. Then it was fear. Fear for myself, or those around me, and the belief I wouldn't get anyone else. I think many women stay in violent and controlling relationships because of fear. After I was assaulted on New Year's Eve 2001, a junior constable told me I should lay charges for my own self-worth, as I deserved to be treated better than that. He made it all about me, and didn't mention his name. But the next day a more senior officer came to take my statement, and made it all about him, and locking him up. As much as I wanted the violence to end, I didn't want to be the one to put him in jail. Again, whether it was through love, or fear of what would happen when he got out. So it is great now that the police can charge on what evidence they see before them, as this takes the emotional mind games out of the equation. These new laws would have helped me. Hopefully they will help others. Healthy relationships are all about equal respect, and valuing the other person for who they are, and having them value you back equally. It's about being able to be comfortable to be yourself. And it is not about fear, jealousy, or control. Male or female, we all have different skills as individuals, of which we are better or poorer at. So we adjust to give praise or offer assistance where it is needed, and always be mature and respectful towards one another. Everyone needs to make sure that they always show love, respect, patience, self-control, and understanding when you're in a relationship. Just remember to always treat others as you would like to be treated yourself. I could only imagine where I'd be today had he taken those things into consideration, not regularly visiting my speech pathologist and physiotherapist, and not needing assistance to get up, shower and participate in daily activities, that's for sure. Don't see violence as the only way to show everyone how tough you can be. How tough do you think the man who put me sitting here in this wheelchair was? Now my only thought is that I wish the judge who sentenced him could have seen, or have even imagined, the great difficulty and immense pain I now must go through as a result of the injuries he inflicted on me, to accomplish simple tasks in everyday life. Realize he delivered me a life sentence. Do you really think his weak jail sentence delivers him the realization he should have dealt with his problem another way? We all know right from wrong. There is no excuses. We make our choices, and I am asking everyone here today to choose not to be violent. We all know what it's like to have someone pushing your buttons. It does get on your nerves, doesn't it? But we all need to show a lot of self-control at all times and just walk away and take some personal time. Doesn't matter if you're a female or male, violence should never be the answer or way to solve a problem. Communication is society's key. Remember that in life and you'll be better for it. I do not have wealth or power. I am not a CEO or executive. I simply have the knowledge of my own personal experience. I want to keep others away from violent and controlling relationships, and hope to continue bringing light and opportunity to young people and victims, to show young people that life is not always fair, but it can take you anywhere if you work hard enough. I hope I can give young people the encouragement to keep going, no matter what life throws at them, because you never know where it can take you in the end, to ignore the negative influences and surround themselves with people who are positive, and will keep them striving, so that they too can achieve their goals and dreams. I always wanted to go to America, and in 2007 I applied to the International Women's Health Coalition in New York to participate in their training on the plenary rights of children, and I was one of 17 accepted from 300 worldwide to attend. The time there involved 4 days training, and 2 days at the United Nations. It was a dream come true, a marvelous, enchanting, significantly life-changing working holiday. The subject matter at times was very disturbing. Women have been treated badly for centuries in many countries. A lot of these countries we class as third world, so you wouldn't think that some of these things happen in our beautiful Australia. Do you know that in Victoria, domestic violence is the biggest cause of illness, injury and death for women between 15 to 44 years of age? I am sure some of you are shocked to hear that, and find it hard to believe, but it is true, and it is something that we all should feel very ashamed of. So White Ribbon Day is a great day for talking to and educating each other about how wrong violence against women and violence in general is, and hopefully we will start to see changing attitudes which lead to an end to violence. It is really important talking and sharing experiences. This brings awareness and knowledge to one another, and that is one of the biggest reasons why I'm here today, so we can all together learn, grow, and improve a little bit each day. Life is about making an effort on improving every day. I believe that violence happens when we don't love ourselves enough and believe in ourselves enough. We need to remember we are all beautiful individuals. Recently a friend gave me a poem written by Charlie Chaplin on his 70th birthday. I would like to share a little piece of this with you. As I began to love myself, I freed myself of anything that is no good for my health. People, things, situations, and everything that drew me down and away from myself. At first I called this attitude a healthy egoism. Today I know it is love of oneself. I believe that both men and women need to have love of oneself before they can love and live together in a loving, respectful, equal relationship. I just hope everyone who hears my story takes the right kind of power in their lives, keeps it real, and don't be fooled. Thank you all again for inviting me here to speak. I really hope that what I have said gives you all a better understanding of my journey and what I do, and why White Ribbon Day is so important.